Dave here, how are you? I was getting things ready and I looked around the corner at the clock and I thought, oh, 11 o'clock, I'm going to be late. So I madly scurried over here. If I can have someone say that the stream is running, that'd be fantastic, because then that'll get everything there out of the way and I can focus on doing the show. Now today, let me see, I'm in debacle this morning. Good morning all. John, I hope all gets a bit better through all the day. Morning to all from John O and Peter Lisiak and Jay Para. Great day in CH. Dave is here now. Better stop talking about him. Okay, I think that says everything's good. Ian, good morning Ian. How are you? And obviously a whole heap of other people there. Today. I'm going to read through what we're going to do today. The Domino DF 500. I released a video yesterday morning on the connectors that Festool have released for it. So I've got a hold of their 500 Domino. And while it was here, I thought before I send it back to them on Tuesday, I'd show you around it a bit. You guys probably know that I've got the 700. 700 is the bigger version, but the 500 is a really nice one. And if I was to do it again, I'd probably get the 500. I'm going to tell you some more about the 500 as we're going through the show as well. Now, what's the next thing? Okay, so you've probably read in the description box what's happening on the show today. Neil Henderson's compact garage workshop solution. Sent some photos through me. I've just talked about the Domino DF connectors. Oh, hands-on demo on Thursday next week at Carbotex stores. It's not really an ad, just letting you know that that's going to be happening. I'll be there. I've switched my days around this week, so I won't be there on Monday, but I'll be there on Thursday for the demo, because it'd be crazy not to. I've just done a video on the thing, so I've got a real heads up on how to do it. So if you've got any questions about it, if the video I did wasn't clear enough, well then I can walk you through it as well. What's the next thing? More amazing items from the Yellowbox shared live demo. I've got two things I want to show you about. One is a refresher on something John said to me during the week. Dave, can you just show them how this thing works a little bit better, and also something new? Now, a lot of you in the Facebook page would have seen me with something on my face and also wearing a black t-shirt instead of a blue one with Save Ferris on it, something my wife got for me. I was sitting in the car park waiting for her to finish doing some stuff that she was wanting to do. Like, normally we go shopping together, but she said, look, I've just got to duck into the chemist, grab some things. Fine. Chemist for you guys in the States would probably be drugstore, prescription things for, she's got asthma, so she's got a few things that she needs to get for that. And stepping on to the next thing, Princess Mary of Denmark is going to visit Johannes Mohr to see his wooden water wheel restoration. Now, obviously, her husband's going to come along as well. I think he's the Crown Prince. And I couldn't even tell you his name, because we're only concerned about Mary, our Australian girl from Tassie who married this guy. She swept him off his feet. Is that normal for a girl to sweep a guy off his feet? It's normally the other way around, isn't it? But look, good on you, Mary. She's done well. She's a lovely woman. I was going to throw some photos up, but the only photos I could find of her on the internet had kind of copyright issues, and I thought, nah, I'm not going to risk it. If you want to see her, just type in Princess Mary of Denmark, and away you go. So Johannes has actually said they're not coming to see him. They will be dropping into the town on the Faroe Islands, which is, the Faroe Islands is heavily supported by Denmark. And it's an interesting thing. Do some reading up on the Faroe Islands. Faroe, I think is how you pronounce it. I started Pharo, like Pharaoh from Egypt, and I thought, well, I can't find them. Idiot. Anyway, so that'll be very exciting. So I'm guessing Johannes will be standing behind a rope line or something and madly waving a little Denmark flag and saying, Mary, Mary. And I said to him, why don't you offer her some Vegemite? See how that goes down. She loves it. She's probably been raised on Vegemite, so maybe they've got Vegemite in all the stores. She might make that her first official order when she becomes Queen of Denmark. All stores shall have Vegemite in them in Faroe Islands and Denmark. That'd be good. And Norway, because Louis' wife will run out and buy some Vegemite, I'm sure. She loves it. That and Caramello Bears. I thought I just saw a mouse run past up there. figment of imagination. Although I do have mice come in and visit me here and there. What's the next thing? So his wooden water wheel restoration, we'll do that in a minute. I'll jump into that pretty quick. Wood Dust is coming. That's the major event for woodworking this year down at Bungendore Queanbeyan. It's towards the end of the year. I keep on refreshing people's memory. If you want to get tickets for that, by all means. I'm not being supported by John for doing this. John's just said, Dave, we're doing this event. It'll be really nice to kick it off. It's its first year, so if you can let people know, that'd be great. So that's all I'm doing. I will be down there as well in a bit of an official role with Carbotech, and the rest of the time I'm going to try and sneak the live show out from down there as well. Okay, what do we got? What else? Sorry, October 17th to the 21st. Second channel needs subs. Thank you everyone that subscribed last week. I want to try and get it up to 1,000. That'd be fantastic if we could. It's up to around 350, 360. So if you can, as I say, what happens is all of the videos, the live streams, you'll notice they do not stay on this channel. I flick them over to the second channel. So if there was something that happened on one of the shows and you think, oh, that's where Dave showed how to sharpen this chisel or showed John's dust extraction or something else, that's where it is. Of course, all the Barry the Pug videos live over there as well. So I bring them up to the public on this channel, and then they go over there to be archived. So the Vegemite one will be going there. It's already there. I'll release it probably today or tomorrow, and it'll be coming off this channel today. Chat, of course, that's what we're going to be doing. You guys are doing it in the side there. Patreon, check out the rewards and the gossip, all that kind of stuff. If you could, that'd be fantastic, and it's much appreciated. And talking about Patreon, the patrons bringing the show today are, I have 8 doing this now. It's fantastic. Roger DeBolt, Johannes, who we were just talking about, John Wilson, John Parra, Vincent Yang, Louis Uberg, with the wife who loves Vegemite, Raymond Tott, and Andrew Harreliv. There was a little clip that Louis put in the Facebook. This is the closed group. So if you want to join it, there's links in the description box down the bottom. You can have a look at Louis' wife having her first bite of Vegemite and rush to the bin. She's pregnant, the poor woman. Why would you do that to her, Louis? That's terrible. Rushes to the bin, throws the biscuit in, and almost vomits in the garbage bin. And her boys, I see her in the background. They're about 5 and 4 or something like those ages, and I could see a big smile on their faces. Good on you, Dad, they're saying. Well, obviously in Norwegian. And that's that. So as I said, I will jump in and we have a look at Johannes's stuff first. Here it is. So he's been doing stuff just using his hand plane, because all he's got is hand plane and battery powered tools. And this is where he started off. This is the water wheel that he was doing the restoration on. So totally gone. A very, very ancient water wheel and a little mill. So he's going to get the stream running soon too. So this is the beginning of a shelter he's building for the wheel. You can see all the steel and the concrete in the center is all original. And Johannes, I should say. Johannes. Johannes has been rebuilding this from scratch, and he dominoed all of those parts of the wheel together. And let's have a look at it from a distance. And that's where he's up to now. How good is that? He's made this roof. I noticed that Greg made a comment that he'll have to mow the lawn on the roof before Princess Mary and a hubby get there. I'm terrible. I don't even know the guy's name. Like he's going to be the king of Denmark. But that's on the other side of the world to me. There are other things that I need to know. Anyway, so there we go. That is that, and then back to me. So that is huge. I said to Louis, I get those guys mixed up. It's the Norway and the Faroe Islands are so close to each other. I keep saying to Johannes, you'll be standing behind that little rope and waving, and she might come over and say hello. That'd be great. That'd be great. He's put a lot of work into getting it ready. All right, I'm going to have a little bit of a read down the side here now and see where we're up to. Vincent, you got to go. Okay, sorry about that. Stephen Lee saw the video. It was very well documented. Oh, thank you. Who dat there? My lady came from Melbourne to Atlantis, Georgia to sweep me off my feet. Well, there you go. Phoebe, good morning. All looking forward to another great show. Loving the Vegemite craze you've started, Dave. Oh, Phoebe, you bought a new lathe with creative accounting, I hear. I saw the picture you put up on it this morning, and the drive spur and the freewheeling spur, pardon me, on the tailstock seem to line up absolutely beautiful. Looks like a very nice lathe. Maybe if you want to have a chat with the guys there about it as well, or you're probably busy playing with it at the moment. Too busy, so you'll just have me playing around in the background while you're turning some nice bowls and some spindle stuff. I bet you Hilton Bond would be very interested in what you're doing there as well. Okay, so Vegemite craze, I'm going to slide down here. Stephen Rogerson, straight Vegemite on crackers, not the best way to introduce anyone. Try butter next time. Yeah, it's a little bit cruel of me to eat Vegemite neat. She didn't even have it off a knife or a spoon. At least she had a biscuit or a cracker. So I don't have that much sympathy. Ubergen family didn't seem to share your enthusiasm for Vegemite, Dave. No, not indeed. You'd like to see Barry eat Vegemite. He'd do it. He'd probably, try and spit it out, but he just eats anything. He's a crazy dog. Yes, I know that. Frederick, that's it. Okay, thank you very much for that, John. Frederick, the Crown Prince of Denmark. All right, what's the next thing that we've got? That's enough chat. I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone is well. Let's jump into Neil's workshop here for the moment. And I've got a little video here and some story. And here we go. Hi Dave, I thought some of your viewers might be interested in the portable workbench I use. I don't have the luxury of any dedicated space for woodworking, so I need to pack it all up when the car comes back into the garage. So I bought a couple of sawhorses and a bit of timber to make a square frame to sit my Stanton MFT style bench on top of, made with the trusty UJK path guide system, of course. I put a couple of bench dogs into one of the timber supports, which the bench top fits onto. This keeps it pretty sturdy, but in the future I might do the same to the other end. I also attached a little Craig clamp vise to one end, and that's a fantastic thing. All of this packs up and sits on some hooks on the garage wall. Cheers, Neil. Back to camera one. So that's great. What a compact space. It all hangs on the wall. A couple of sawhorses out that fold up, and the bench top, and he's ready to go crazy. And he's bought one of those little Craig clamp vise things that hooks onto the side as well. You might be interested in getting one of them. They're very, very handy. Very handy. Next thing. So we're moving along quite well, and it's 1:15. Oh, today is the 19th of August. Only 2 weeks to go till spring in Australia. And I've noticed outside the apricot tree is already flowering, and the cherry trees, all the buds are starting to form up. They haven't popped open into flowers yet. And the reason I mention that is I'm going to try grafting one. I've got an absolutely beautiful cherry tree that I stumbled upon about 20 years ago, probably even 30 years ago. And it's one of the most magnificent trees I've seen in my life. And I have all these other, I've tried to buy other cherry trees that have got the same height and, with a graft, but they've never been the same. So I'm going to try grafting some of the scions, I think they call them scions or scions, off this really nice cherry onto one of the stalks that the cockatoos ate the top off. So we'll see how that goes. Next thing, as I say there, so we've got Neil, that's out of the way. We've done Princess Mary, that doesn't sound great, but we've covered, that doesn't even sound good either. We've gone past that section in the show. I've done the wood dust is coming. The second channel, and that leaves me the Domino DF connectors and also amazing items from John. Okay, now this is crazy. Johannes did send some information, but I didn't read it. And so it does say there, Frederick and his wife, Princess Mary. She's from Tasmania. Tasmania is, I could wind people up and say it's a little country south of Australia, but it's actually one of the states of Australia. It's an island state to the south, just beyond Bass Strait, in between Bass Strait and the South Pole, Antarctica. Very, very nice place. I wouldn't mind living there. You know, it's during winter, though, I think the sun disappears around about 3:30 in the afternoon and doesn't come up till about 9 in the morning. Let me know. If you live in Tasmania, let me know. Let me have a look here. It is a great use of space. I was just reading what Darren said there. Very neat. From Phoebe Clark, Hilton, have you used the Easy Wood tools yet? Brenton's been using them and loves them. I'm excited to have a go on the lathe today. Good on you, Phoebe. Post some pictures on the Facebook page. And again, if you want to join the Facebook page, I'm very hard on who I let in. So apply if you want to, but you will need to know my dog's name and what color my shirt is. It's not black with Save Ferris, I'll let you know. And I got a bit of flack for that. All right, I'm going to change cameras to the other one. We'll get into some more demonstrations. There we go, all set up. And I will move this other camera back over here. Whoop, got caught. To there. Oh no, I've lost that camera. That's terrible. That is bad. What happened is the camera has been disconnected and it will not come back on again. I might have to do all of the show from here, but that's not too bad. I've got one camera left. I've had that happen once before, and I turned this part of the stream off and then on again, and it was only a little glitch. So I don't have to do it, so I think we'll be fine with this. Now, John wanted me to show everyone this guy here. Now, I showed this last week, I think, but he wanted me to show you how when it goes on a flexible hose, you do not need a clamp, and what a great fit it is. And it's a left-hand thread, as per normal, with, there it goes. It goes on easy. And it gets a little bit tighter as it gets onto there. Now I'm going to bring it over so you can see it. No clamping required. And that is a great fit. It is, John. I'm sorry I didn't show that to everyone the other week. I'm going to see if I can slide this off. I can't. What a great... I'm trying to get off the PVC as well, but I would need to put a piece of timber against the side and give it a little bit of a tap gently around the sides to take that off. It is on so well. And look what he's printed on it. It even tells you, for in Australia, what type of pipe it will go onto. He's a clever bugger, isn't he? Okay, so that's that one out of the way. And something else. There it is. Does that look familiar? I think it was up like that, but without all of this on it. It's a vacuum port. So John has made this amazing vacuum port for the UJK Path Guide system. And it is such a good fit, it clips on and it ain't going anywhere. And this one, I gave in the dimensions of the dust port on my TS55 track saw so that it can work with this. And the good thing about that is it does not hold it up like that. He's done it so that the dust port fits on there perfect. I'll bring it over closer so you can see. So it doesn't interfere with how it sits. That is so good. When I did the video on the UJK Path Guide system, you would have seen that I made a little unit that had a sandpaper base and I put it up behind, but I was always having to move things around. Where this system, you don't have to. I've got a heap of things here that I want to show. So I'm moving things around all over the place. Now I have one area down here that I don't have any dog holes in. So I'm happy enough to do dog holes down here to demonstrate how this works. I'll move this out of the way. That's on loan to me. and I'm going to lift these up. Now you might wonder what I'm doing here. I've drilled a couple of holes, or one hole in the top of John's plugs. The reason being, all I need is a little screw, and see how it stands up there, a wood screw to lift them out. I found the areas around the middle here where whenever I put anything steel down here, like a hand plane, and brought it up and come a plug with it. So I'm going to keep the plugs in one area, possibly down the left-hand side because I'm right-handed. So I always put things on the right-hand side and pick it up. So these plugs here, I'm going to stick with no magnet and a hole in it, 1/8 hole. And on the left-hand side and across the back, I'll use John's system with the magnet because they are handy. They do stop screws rolling around on the top. And also if I want to get it out, not a problem, that can happen. But for the moment, I've got them over there. Now, I need a couple of dogs. Let's get this out a bit further. And I need some dogs for that. I use these two dogs, and again with John's little handles on the top, they're brilliant. And I can just put that there. That. Done. How good is that? But first of all, of course, I need to put the drill in. So there's the drill with the stop collar. So it's a 20mm Forstner bit. And I don't need any of the other stuff because I'm referencing off these previously done dog holes. I want it so that when it comes down, I'm not going to go all the way through the board. I want it to stop. I might swing that camera around a little bit so that you can see it a little bit better. What do you reckon? That looks a bit better? Offline. You're kidding me. Am I online again? Surely not. Am I back on? Let me know. Yeah, Peter will love it. Okay, I can't see that I'm offline. Let me know. Let me know if I've come back on or if I'm still offline. All good. Okay, thank you. That was scary. All right, coffee. Sorry, settle my heart. Good to go. Excellent. I don't know what happened there. How long was I offline for, guys? You may not know. Okay, so the show has been running for, what is it, 24 minutes? So we're off for 10 seconds a couple of minutes ago. Okay, beautiful. I don't think it was you, Dave. Stream has been consistent here. Online in Melbourne, all good. Didn't drop out at all here, respects Wood. Okay. It's a funny thing. That happens every now and then. I always take the blame here because I think, well, I'm a carpenter. I'm not a technician. I don't know anything about this stuff. I just stumble my way through. So if something goes wrong, I always go, oh, it must be me. All right, now I need to take this out of here again for a moment. The reason being, I've got to put the drill in, or the Forstner. So I'm going to take the stop collar off, flip her up this way, and it's going to be the one that's centered between the two dog holes. This one here is if I'm centering between the 3mm pinholes. There's 3mm pins along there. And then I'm going to slide the stop collar down the back. Oh yeah, Peter would love this. And I'm going to check that I'm not going to go through the whole top just by referencing off the side. So Peter will probably be watching this show, middle of the night for him, 1 in the morning or something like that. And, Mark Bonger's got his iMuffs delivered, which is great. It took 2.5 weeks, because I watched the tracking, 2.5 weeks from the pickup point at Fishwick, I think it was, in Canberra, till it got to Holland. So he said, got here finally. So now I'm going to put that there. I have that one set, that one there, and that's set. What do you reckon? Now I need a drill, and I got a Centratec drill here. I'll pop that on there. It holds it up and everything. I love this system. This is great. Okay, you ready? I'm going to turn the dust extractor on, and you watch in here, it's all just going to disappear. Maybe looking for the other camera. Well, it may be. Okay, I'm going to turn her on. Oh, I need to plug it in. You know, there's one of those things that you forget. I didn't have power connected. Whip a bit of this cable off. I've been looking for a new place to put my dust extractor, because the bench is there. There she goes. Look at that. Watch this. I know what's happening. You know what's happening there? Because I haven't drilled the 3mm hole to start, that 3mm guide, the Forstner bit's struggling to go down because the front of this particular Forstner bit is not a spur cutter, it's a follower. So that's why I was struggling to start down there. And fair enough, I should have realized that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that 3mm drill, wherever I put it. Did I put it away or not? It's not like me. Do you guys lose things and you think, what are you doing? What have I been doing? Where is that drill? I'm sure it's going to be here. Not in there. You guys are all probably pointing. It reminds me of pantomimes. You know, as a kid, you go to a pantomime and there'd be, I found it. The villain would come on stage and the good guy would be there, and the villain would be creeping up behind him, and all the kids are screaming out, behind you, behind you. And the good guy would say, where? And the villain would duck down and the good guy would look over his top. Don't you love going back to when you were a kid now and then? I think it's fantastic. We become too mature, and we leave that behind. I think it's a bit of a shame. I think it's nice to remember those days where you were carefree with life and no responsibility in the world. Your parents looked after everything, and you were just having a ball. And innocent. That's what it is. People were innocent. I love it. Anyway, I'm going to drill this hole freehand. Do you dare me? Let's see if I can do it. Done. I love this drill too. All right, now I think it's all going to be good. Down it goes. Second one. Put this guy on. Turn the dusty on. Well, that was pretty impressive. It worked. Of course it worked. No dust. How good. That's the first time I've tried it. I've had it for a couple of days. John sent it up to me a few days ago. And it was actually, I just opened the post up when I did that photo. We grabbed the post out of the letterbox and then went up the street, did some shopping. And I was getting a bit bored sitting there, so I grabbed it out of the parcel. Took a selfie. Greg was concerned I was driving at the time. He said, watch out for peripheral vision. Thank you for that, Greg. Okay, I'm going to do another one. It's past. Why not? Where's that wood screw? Now, I haven't gone all the way through on purpose because after the show, I'm going to flip this unit upside down and I'm going to drill through from the other side because the hole's all the way through and I don't want breakout on the other side. That's the thing in the video that I should have really told everyone. Don't only go 16 millimeters through if you've got an 18 millimeter board, 16 millimeters in, so it'll have a blind hole at the end. Turn the board over at the end, come down through that 3 millimeter hole that's gone all the way through, and everything will be handy. Everything will be good. All will be good with the world. And the villain in the background, he's behind you. I used to love that stuff. All right, next thing. I'm going to pop that in there just to mark it. And then we'll pull it out. This will be the last one I do. Come on, down you go. Is it on? Yep, marked. I didn't need to turn the dusty on for that one. There's the hole. Slide it back over. Down to there. Isn't John a wizard? How good is this stuff? And this clamp here, I'm going to use this clamp a little bit later on with the Domino. And it is brilliant. The things he makes, I love it. Turn the dusty on. I'm going to do a video soon on Bluetooth for cordless machines. It's a little Bluetooth thing, and it's been done before, I know that. But, you know, I like to do a little video now and then. So I'll do a video on the Bluetooth connector here, the receiver on the dust extractor, and how you fit it. And so when you're using a cordless tool, you just go click and turn. Here we go. Saves me having to do that. Done. Magic. That is so nice. That is so nice. Beautiful. I love it. Thanks, John. If you want these things, I know a lot of the time that's going to be a one-off for this, but so is the UJK Path Guide system, or so you will think. I didn't think I'd need it again after I built this, but I've done this. I've done another full bench, which is a bit bigger than this, and it's over the back there. I don't know if you can see it, leaning against the wall behind the everything else over there. I've got another one that's a small unit. I'm thinking about mucking around with an idea of having one that lives off to the right-hand side of this bench on a slide-out situation. I'm just trying to get around the depth of a track saw when it's at full depth cut, because I don't want to accidentally cut through the supports. So there's all sorts of things that I'm thinking about. Just like John thinks about the stuff with his 3D printer, I also think about design on how I can improve this particular bench. And I've got more things that I think I would like to do with this. Not something that you'd have to go and get a whole new bench, but how you can do some more enhancements to this existing bench. And if you want the bench like this, as I say, I have the plans available. There's probably a link down to the bottom in the description box as to where you can get them from. I'm just stoked in it. I did the whole Festool DF video on this bench, and it was just so easy. Very, very nice. Okay, that's enough of that. We'll disconnect that from there, and great fit. It works beautifully. All right, that's out of the way. We'll move this one over here. And what's that? Oh, I'm trying to T-bolt. Pop that back over there as well. All right, I'm going to do a little read. Okay. Dave, can you show how John's dust extractor pipe attaches to the path guide? I just did. Unless, of course, not sure you do bushings on it later on. Yeah, okay, look, why not? Why not? It's a tight fit, and that's good because it's not going to fall off. I'm going to undo this because I don't want to catch myself on it. I'll put that back on there so it doesn't go anywhere. The reason I like being neat and tidy is that I lose things easily. And even this morning, getting ready for the show, I was stuffing around and I thought, I couldn't find it. Couldn't find something. And I was thinking, mate, if I was a mess in here, I would lose interest in this room real quick. So that's why I put things away, because I struggle to remember where I put things. And I'm guessing you guys are going to be in a similar situation. Now, it pushes on to the underside there. Now, I will try and take it off. It's a little tight on the outside here, John's going to make them a little bit bigger here because it doesn't really need to grab around the bushing, just as long as it grabs onto the plate there. That's the most important part. There she goes. Got it. That's it. So there's the path guide. And that's the little unit that goes on it. I'll bring it over closer so you can have a better look at it. It is so neat and tidy. He does a magic job. Where are my glasses? Yeah, they're on your head, John. Stephen. So this was the image I did in the car park. And someone rightly said, "You idiot." There you go. I'm going to put it back on. The reason being, I don't want to lose it. Not too hard, was it? This is brilliant. So good. I'll put it away so I know that it's down there. Done. And I'll put these away as well. All right, pop these back. These are great. They're beautiful. All right, now I need to finish tightening this up. I think that's the one. Have I got it on the right one? No, that's on the older one. Now, I'm going to swing this back around this way so you can see what I'm up to. About there. Now, here's something to be aware of. The old version of the Craig bench clamp doesn't have as deep a receiving hole as the new one does. Don't know if I can show you that. I'll bring it over and show you closer. And if I show you from the same part of the clamp, let's see if I pull that open there like so, and you can see the one on the left, this one is, or on the right I should say, is very shallow there. This is the new clamp and it's a bit deeper, so it's easier to get the bolt into there. So it's a 5/16 bolt and we're using John's 5/16 handle with a 2-inch or 1.5 inches, I'm not sure, but it's one or the other. Slides up through there and we'll put it into there like so. Finish tightening him up. Beautiful. What do you think of that? Got him. Love it. That is fantastic. All right, a bit more drink. What time are we up to? 22. Got 20 minutes left. Excellent. Now, what am I doing with this? Piece of wood. There we go. And I'm going to put a domino into the end of that. And I'm going to use what's called the trim stop. Pardon me. Now the trim stop is designed to lock onto the base plate of the Domino 500. It slides on over that, onto there, and it has these guys here. So I can set this up, I can release those two, and I can open it up or close it. And that's going to center the domino for me on skinny pieces of timber. So I can slide that onto there, and I can read off the back. I can set it up on the timber. There's graduations on the high side, so I don't have to be looking at that side. I can turn it over, and I can see either side I'm on 21, and on this side I'm on 24. So I'm sliding the whole thing across to 22 and 22, and that is perfect there. That's something that a lot of you wouldn't realize. There it is. So it's sitting now on that piece of timber or wood, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know if you can see this little white arrow just there? And on the other side, there's graduations up there. You may be able to see them if I bring it in close. I don't know. I'm holding it in front of the camera, but I can't sneak my head around to see. Anyway, you might be able to. And on the other side, there's the clamps. You tighten those up. And also, here, these guys, you loosen those, and they slide in over the top, over the base plate, to lock the domino, or this onto the base plate. And I'll do that now. I've been asked, what's the advantage of a domino over a biscuit jointer? Well, there's a heap. The fact that I can do skinny mortises, because that's all this is. This is a mortising machine. That's all it is. And the fact that I can do that on skinny timber, I can put a mortise in this width here, using the 4mm cutter instead of the at the moment it's got the 8 in there. So I'm going to slide this on. Come on, you can do it. I'll take it off the timber, then I can slide it on. There she goes. So you can see it sitting on there. And then what I do, without getting myself tangled up too much, is I slide it over there and tighten that one up. I'm going to bring the domino up closer for you so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to push that down, swing that around. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to push it in so it goes over the plate, and there's a receiving point just in here for it. I'm going to tighten, see it? I'm going to tighten that up. Done. And now it's locked on. It's not going anywhere. Now that will also work on any of the arc. It will follow. So if I need to do a plunge, I can still do a plunge straight down and then back that way because I want to. Now while I've got the domino here, I'm also going to show you something here. See down the side here, we've got numbers. I think you can see those numbers. These numbers here represent the thickness of the timber. So this piece of timber here, or wood, is 32mm. So if I was to release this side, means I can raise that up and down, and I can raise that all the way up, and I can slide that up to 36 if I had 36mm timber, or 28. Let's go 36. That's going to be close enough for me. Push down. Now, the domino's whole height is going to be 18mm. See, it says 20 there. That means the plunge is going to come out 18mm down from that point. I'm not explaining it extremely well, but close enough. Now this piece of timber here, I think is going to be closer to 20mm. Let's measure it. Here's something that people don't realize. You can actually put it on the side there, and that's on the 10, and that's close enough to 20. It's actually 18. So now I'm going to release this, and I'm going to pull this back down to 20. See, it says I could have gone 22. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to go to 20. And then I'm going to push the head down and lock it. Now, I'm coming out, let me see, what's it saying? 10mm to the middle of that 8. So half of 8 is 4 for the radius. And then from there, we're going from 10. So it should be fine. It should be fine. I'm going to pop that on the bench, lock it down. The reason this is really good is that when I did a handrail here on one of the other buildings, I put in 100 balusters on an external veranda or deck. And I didn't want a conventional top piece of timber on the top and another one like that. Normally, that's how a lot of people do that kind of construction. And then they'll screw the balusters onto the inside underneath there. Well, it was outside a bedroom and I didn't want all of this vision blocked. So I just had that. And I dominoed into the underside and into the top of each baluster. And so I had that. And it was a nice wide one, 6 inches wide, so I could rest a cup of coffee there. And in the morning, have a look at the kookaburras eating all of my fish in the pond. So I'm now going to plug this in. And they've got a new system on the hoses as well. It's got a little arrow on it, and there's an arrow on the receiver. So you look for the arrow point, and that'll do me just fine there. And it pushes in, and then that way, there's no way in hell that it's going to come off. All right, I'm going on a tight domino, and I'm going to set it to 20 millimeters deep. On the side there is a little depth setting. I don't know if you can see that. Right. Lead for the machine from there is already plugged in. I'm going to switch the machine to auto. And as I said, it might seem like a lot of setting up, but I've been doing a lot of explaining at the same time. I'm going to sit that on there, turn the machine on first. Done. And that's the result. Now, if you can find a quicker way or a better way of being able to do that, and I can put in a mahogany domino or a beech domino, mahogany for external use, beech for internal use, but when I paint a job outside, I use the beech anyway. But that I would really, really struggle to do that with a biscuit. If I was to do it this way and put a 4 or 5 millimeter domino across that way for really small stuff, impossible with any other machine. The good thing about these, a lot of people call these a non-rotating dowel. Well, a dowel will rotate, obviously, but this, it can't twist anywhere. I love this machine. Now I'm going to bring it to another point. There's some other things here as well. There's a trim stop, which I've just shown you. There's also the cross stop. The cross stop is this thing. Where's it all end? When you get them, you get two. Now the cross stop is if I want to reference off what I've been doing. So I'm going to undo it, the trim stop, off there, and slide it off in a second. There she goes. Beautiful. Nice tight fit. And the cross stop, I will slide into there. Come on, you can do it. Yep. What's catching on? That one's fine there. Oh, it goes on top. All right. I have to make sure that it's the other way around to that one. That slides in there, and that slides in there. Tighten her up. There's a few things I'm very curious about. Okay, so it goes in flat. That would be why, David. There. Yes. It's been a while since I've used this particular unit. There it goes. Okay. I'm going to bring it over so you can see what I'm doing. Now this has a pin that pushes in and out, and this goes into a previous domino hole that you've done. On this end is a dovetail, and it's loose or clamped up tight, and it locks onto the side of the domino. These can go on the 500 or the 700, makes no difference. Same with the other guy, the trim stop. So I can move this along, and it's got a whole lot of slots that are 1 millimeter apart. So it's like a geared reference. It's where it is where it is, and that's all there is to it. You can hear it sliding along. So say I want to do dominoes at, I'm going to bring it back to 150 millimeters, not 149, 150. Can you see it there? It says 150, and it's got a little V there for me to realize on both sides, so I've got to check. I've tightened it up. That should give me domino holes at every 150 millimeters long. I'm going to do it on this one, and I will put it onto here first. Okay, it's locked on. So you can see it's locked onto the side. It's just that clamp. And on the back you can see there's the dovetail that it locks into the base plate. And there's the pin there. I would really need to have the pin around the other way, David. So let me undo that. I'll slide it off and spin it around the other way. And down to 150. And clamped on. There you go. So that is a reference point in the previous domino. I'll show you how it goes. And it's going to be fine on that depth, so I can pop it there. And I'm going to work off the knuckle that starts here. Start her up again. So that's my first, and I'm up pretty high there, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to do another one here, and I'm not going to do any measuring. So I'm going to lock that there, and I'm going to use this pin in the side of that hole that I've already done. So that's where it's going to be. I'll turn her on. And another one. So I put the pin in that one, and it's referenced to the center of the cutter back to this one, and I did the same there to there. I did not have to do any measuring along there. Now if I set the one up on the other side, because I can set this up on the other side of the machine, have them hanging out either side like wings, and I could do the buddy for this on the other side, so that when I brought them together, these would all be perfect. It's just amazing. That's why I love the domino. People say, oh, you know, a lot of money. Yes, a lot of money. I know it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, I know it's a lot of money. But I'll tell you what, it's a buy once, cry once thing for me. So that's the domino, and we're coming up to almost being full time. I'll pop that down there, but how good is this? I love it. And give you a heads up also, if you're interested, this is not a sales pitch. Please do not take it this way. I'm giving you a heads up. You see things on my show, you may end up saying, look, I wouldn't mind one of those as well. So I'm going to let you know what's happening. That 500 domino in Australia is around about $1,600 just for the machine. It's a lot of money, but it's a great machine. And it's 3-year warranty on the thing. So there you go. That's in Australia, that's how much they cost. Now, they have an accessory pack, and I bought one of the accessory packs, which is this one. So I bought this one for myself, and it's in a Cistainer 2. Now, you know how to tell a Cis 2 from a Cis 1, a Cis 3, Cis 4? This one's got 2 lines here under what it is. Oh, sorry, it's over there. So here, you put your business card in here, so people know that's Dave's Domino box. I'm not touching that. And so there's 2 there. If this was a Cis 3, you would have, 3 lines here. Cis 4, 4 lines there. It's just one of those little things you pick up as you're going along. All right, so inside this one, you get assortments. You get a full pack of every size domino they do. They do 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10 millimeters. I think in the 8s they do the 2 different lengths. It's either the 8s or the 10s. So that's how tiny. That is how tiny the little baby 4 millimeter domino is. So you get all those. And they're normally, just give you a rough idea, each one of these packs is around about 28, 30 odd dollars Australian for one each individual pack. So there's 6 threes, there's 120 bucks worth straight away. Then you get all 5 cutters. That's the 4, 5, 6, 8 and 10 millimeter cutters are all in there. I'll bring it over closer so you can see what's going on. I'm not reading anything on this show at the moment, so I'll have to catch up. So there you go. 4, 5, 6, 8 and 10. And these things are around $70 each. These are a router cutter and they last and last and last. So that's what's in there. The sustainer itself is normally about 100 bucks for the box. And you've got all these dividers in here as well that come with it. So it's $500 odd worth just in this box. And ordinarily it's about 310 bucks if you buy it. But for the moment, I'm not trying to sound like a promo, till the end of September, and it's not just Carbotech, it's any Festool store in the country, any Festool retailer, you can pick this up for 149 bucks if you buy the Domino 500 at the same time, till the end of September. Now they don't normally do sale promotions and things like that, and I'm doing this as a heads up. This is not saying, go out and buy this. I'm letting you know that that's happening at the moment. Because it's if you're thinking about buying a Domino, do it now. Don't wait until the end of September and go to October and go, oh, I should have bought it. Too late. They're not going to do it. Festool are very hard like that. So there you go. That is a massive saving. Now I did the video and it's had about 3,000 views on this system. And this is the system that actually uses an 8mm Domino hole to have a clamping system which has got this anchor. Actually, I've lost the nut out of that. Okay, so it's that anchor. I don't know if you can see it from there. And it has one of these bad boys. Goes into it. Other way around, David. Like that. And then that and that. I'll slide those together so you can see how it looks. And there. So that's their little anchoring system that I did the video on. Now this is a little kind of a ramp, and then when that goes on top, it stops about there. And when you put the grub screw in, it's got a kind of a 30-degree point on it, I think. And as you're screwing it up, it starts pulling it tighter and tighter and tighter. I think you can see that maybe. See that? Pretty clever. I've had mixed responses from the video. It's interesting to see how people take it. You get a lot of people that say, oh, I'll have to get a mortgage on the house to get it. And then other people turn around and say, well, it's what I want, so I'm going to get it. Your call, whatever you want. I'm going to do a little read. Okay. No, dowels, I mentioned dowels don't work just as well. Dowels are a situation where they will rotate. Dominoes are a non-rotating dowel or a slip tenon. That's what you can call them. The 700 is a monster, and I'll show you mine here. And I do like the machine. And as I said in the video, I leave this plate on all the time so it doesn't rock around when I'm doing stuff. I've got all that other stuff ready to send back to Melbourne, to the Festool, because I borrowed it from them to do the video. What else we got? Why is it nationwide sale? Because Festool are still price fixed. Yep, true. And for someone who's in retail, and I work part-time retail, it is great because I will spend half an hour explaining everything about a machine, and then what used to happen with people would walk down the street to someone who's selling it just to get people in the door, do a big sale on sell Festool at cost price, and just to get them in the door and start loading up the profit on other things. And they'd have people in these other stores that don't know anything about Festool. So you want to know about Festool, come and talk to me. I know a lot about Festool, but at the same time, if you want that store to stay there so you can take advantage of all this stuff, they've got rent to pay, they've got electricity to pay for all the lighting, they've got staff to pay, they've got holidays, sick leave, you know, everything that you would get in any industry, except for me when I was in building. I never had any of that. I had to self-cover myself. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. So that's one of the reasons. We were screaming out saying, for crying out loud, we do all this stuff and then they just walk down the street and buy the thing for a few $100s cheaper down the road. And companies have overheads. That's all there is to it. If you can come up with a better way to do it, terrific. That'd be great. I'd love to hear it. Alrighty. I do have great toys. I love it. Adventures in Wood, what do you need help with? Adventures in Wood, excellent video on anchoring system. Thank you. Well, see, my pleasure. But I have to pay for things in here. So it costs me money to do this stuff. It costs me money to eat like everyone else. I don't have a farm where I can go outside. And farmers even so have still got to pay rates on the land. Money is an unnecessary, or it's a necessary evil in the world. It's just, you got to do it. If you want to have comfort in society, you need money. And people have to earn it. Great. Keep the stores that know exactly right. That's why we get it from you, Stephen. Yeah, thank you very much. Carl, have you viewed any YouTube videos on the Festool 500? Might be a good place to start. Great toys and great show. Thanks, Dave. Thank you very much, everyone, for hanging around and listening to me have a little bit of a moan at the end there. But as I say, if you want to take advantage of what I know and you want me to show you in detail this joining system, rock down and see me. I'll be there on Thursday. I'll go to any of the other stores that sell Festool. If you come and see me or go into another store, that's fine. Your call. I know I'm going to be busy anyway. All right. I think that's all good. Yes, okay. I'm going to go over here to the outro. I'm going to do it all from here. And I shall see everyone later. I might even talk over the outro as it's happening. So the cost of the connected kit plate is about $500 and something, Dave. Oh, the winner, yes. I'll bring you back. Hold on. We haven't finished. John did rightly say the winner. I nearly forgot because I had one camera down. I had a heap of entries for the Australian or New Zealand winner of the dial-it indicator, the gauge, dial gauge. I've got a heap of entries here, but the winner, and he's going to be over the moon because he's been such a try-hard every week. Bob McIntyre, you're it, buddy. You've won it. Okay, so Bob says, I like the idea of the ability to align from T-Tracks. There you go. That's it. Thanks again for watching, everyone. And I'll go off to the outtake again, and I'll see everyone later. Bye.